Welcome to another edition of the program Political Crimes on your number one Crime Watch television, Third Eye Africa. Of recent, Nigeria has witnessed and still witnessing high-profile politicians decamping from one political party to another, often without clear ideological justification. This has sparked controversy and raised questions about the motivation behind such moves, as well as legal and constitutional loopholes. And Nigerians are asking whether this trend undermines the democratic process and the trust the electorate place in their elected representative. Does cross-carpeting reflect a genuine shift in ideology, or it is driven by personal ambition and a quest for power? How does this impact governance and policy continuity in Nigeria? Today on the program, I'm joined by a critical stakeholder of People's Democratic Party and also the national coordinator of the Alternative, a pan-Nigerian movement, who will share his insights on the growing trend of politicians crossing over to other platforms, internal party wranglings, among others. My guest is Otumba Segun Sowunmi. Well, if you are just joining us, this is Third Eye Africa TV, and like I said during the intro, we'll be discussing issues around cross-carpeting in the Nigerian politics, especially with the recent or prevailing happenings within the ruling and the newly formed coalition that would transform to ADC and other things. And as I said earlier, my guest is a PDP chieftain and the national coordinator of the Alternative, a pan-Nigerian movement, who was a gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party or aspirant in Ogun State. Otumba Segun Sowunmi, you are welcome to Third Eye Africa TV, a first crime watch television in Africa and Nigeria inclusive.
I like what you're doing. Good morning. It's nice to be here. Third Eye. The eye that roves over to see where the crimes are.
We see where
the crimes are.
Yes.
It's nice to be here.
You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Let me start, or rather begin to ask you, how about the alternative movement? We've been seeing you go around navigating all nook and crannies of Nigeria, meeting people, especially party stakeholders across board. What's the idea? What's the wisdom behind all this things?
Thank you, Toda. You have asked a good question. Look, we must accept that after 26 years of democracy, going to 27, we are due to go and reinterrogate, re-engage, and rediscuss the issues of democracy. I got scared when all our neighbors, Mali, Niger, and Co., lost their democracy. And when you look at the way things are in country, with our unemployment data, with our youth bulge, with the level of very combative conversations you see both online, especially online and offline, and the near dangerous media harassment of anybody and anything that is in government over the years, you have to say that, okay, why would people install a government and be up in arm against their same government within a short time? And I'm not talking about this one government. It's always been so.
It's a general
it has always been so. So I then said, okay, why don't we now go back to ourselves and ask 4 key questions. Question number 1, Nigerians, what do you think is your duty on election day when you have PVC and you won't come out and vote? Who do you think is going to vote for you? And then when you don't vote, your noise will not let us rest. You don't like the leader, but they told you to come and vote, you didn't vote. Question number 2. Oh, people that are not the ones that we call rich, or if you like, even poor. This vote selling that you are doing, do you know the full implication for yourself and your children?
Selling your all right.
They know the poor or the not so rich are the majority in any civilization, in any society. If they cannot use their numbers to even install one of their own, what do they think they are doing? Number 3, Nigerians. Maybe because of my own unique bias, I don't know tribe. We didn't grow up with the consciousness of tribe. There's no basis for that. My father is a soldier. I went to the military school. I went to the military primary school. My consciousness in this life does not know tribe. We know family, but we don't know tribe. So I can say to myself, is Nigeria going to agree? Are you Nigerians going to destroy your country because of only conversation around tribe? If you want to discuss Dairu. Don't call it Gombe. Don't call it Bauchi. If you want to discuss Segun, don't call it Yoruba. Don't call it. If you want to discuss Bola Tinubu, discuss Bola Tinubu. Don't call him Yoruba. Don't call Peter Igbo. Just discuss them. Because nobody in their tribe have called them to say, okay, go and be doing whatever it is that you don't like that they are doing before you destroy our country. Those are the type of thing that the alternatives. And that thing, under normal circumstances, it is the duty of the federal government, 1, to say thank you that somebody is even thinking about de-escalating the tension between the tribe, 2, funding it. But whatever your hand sees to do, you have to do it well. If one can do a little with the help of those that are pushing it through, we just have to say, Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah.
Thank God we have people like you complimenting the effort of the federal government, especially like all these things you mentioned, 1, 2, 3. And back to your number 1 and 2. You know, you mentioned the federal government who has the duty to maybe do all these things. You know, recently there was this pronouncement that INEC want to make it mandatory for each and every Nigerian who reaches the voting age to go and vote during the elections. And because we have been experiencing voter apathy during our elections, and I don't know what is wrong in our electoral system that people are now being frustrated to an extent that they doesn't even value, like you said at your number 1, doesn't even value the voters card they are holding. So during the election day, they will decide to remain at home. And at the end of the day, when things started getting worse, they come out and started complaining.
Well, I think what you must understand is that there's really nothing wrong with the Electoral Act. Those who have the responsibility of managing our country, with due respect to them, have been very careless. Nations don't allow themselves to be mismanaged by the dangerous narrative of people whom, if you look at them very well, you can even call them enemy of the state or non-state actors. Yes, when there's time for people to go and collect their PVC, INEC will do the sensitization, spend the money, go around your village, do the delimitation, produce the people, employ the people, you will register. When the cards are ready, you will collect them. INEC has done its duty. Political parties will come, they will sell their candidate, they will jump, they will dance, they will do whatever they think they know how to do. What then is your own responsibility as a human being, even to yourself? Are you supposed to accept that you are just a useless human being in this world, that they are talking about how to install ordinary counselor in your area? You should not know who. And if you think the person that they are bringing is not good, what's stopping you from bringing yourself? After all, if you go and join parties, they will not drive you. Then if you don't come out, your family members don't come out, who the hell are you leaving the job for? It's about continuous reorientation, continuous advocacy, and maybe simplification of the process. Some are genuinely afraid. What causes their fear? Excessive rhetoric of militarization by politicians and their friends who begin to bandy talk grey and other. But hey, it is not the duty of the citizens to stop that. It is the duty of the government.
Authorities.
To say, no, 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 not in my country. You can't do this. And if you do it, you should be sanctioned. But you see, when you leave society on to be on a free fall, then whatever you see, you get. Unfortunately, if you cannot create a scenario where you are building consensus as much as possible, there will always be those who don't agree, no doubt. Haters who don't see anything good in anything. They don't even see anything good in themselves. Those ones will exist. There's nothing you can do about that. But if you can build consensus around vision and decision, then everybody will know what their role is in making that vision come to life. And if you are in democracy for so many years, and we have been practitioners and players pushing, advocating, supporting, energizing and being stable, if we can do one more thing again as part of our extra contribution, alhamdulillah.
Someone watching will be asking question. You also as a politician, if eventually you find yourself in a position of power, what are you going to do differently to address all this?
Everything.
Issue?
Overnight, I was reading and watching the level of cross-carpeting that was going on in our country. I was particularly irritated to my soul by the idea that people are saying they will be in their party and they are saying another party should win. And I felt, what has become of us? I can get up tomorrow morning and say, I'm done. I want to support the president. But the natural next step is that I must leave the party.
Your own party.
Wherever I may be, I must leave and go to his party. And if I want to support him as an independent without being, like ordinary, like an electorate, I must recuse myself from my party. It is madness. It is unethical for you to say, oh, you're going to stand on the platform of one party and be insisting that it doesn't matter who that party has produced, you will not contribute, you won't present yourself, but you will go and then use your gravitas to irritate the electorate. Because what you are doing is not, you don't have more than that your one vote, but you irritate the electorate who will expect that, why is this man doing that? Are you not in this party? Now, if the party does not have the capability to sanction you, because we have created, instead of political parties of ideas, we have created gangs of human fiefdoms. It's even worse than a traditional institution. At least in traditional institution, you have kingmakers, you have the Wamba, you have all the structures. These people have just created empires in their own image. And so I said, okay, let us start looking at the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with a view to adjusting it a little bit and putting some consequential provisions into it. And overnight, we started working. I gathered together my friends, my lawyers, and some constitutional drafters, and we have drafted it. We've tightened it up, and hopefully we'll find a way to present it to the National Assembly for their consideration. Look, nations are not going to improve themselves. Nobody is coming from Mars to help us, Nigeria. We have to do it ourselves. When you go out of the country, you'll be sad. If you go to the Arabic areas, like maybe Dubai, Oman, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, you will look at northern Nigeria and say, okay, it's not the same Islam that they are practicing. Why is our own not giving us this? And in the same token, if you go to locations like England, Germany, and all that, you say, okay, what's wrong with these ones that are from the Yoruba area? What's this? If you go to maybe Malaysia, Singapore, and all that, why? So the point I'm making is that we have disappointed ourselves and we have not measured up to the great expectation of people who love Africa, who believe in Nigeria as the most populous nation about ourselves. And nobody's going to do it, so we better be doing it one step at a time. So if you see me breaking my back, I'm breaking my back in hope that people like you and a lot others will begin to reflect. And I didn't make it a political party thing because I felt there's no point in insisting that one party is bad and one party is good. I have been living my life on an assumption, an axiom that says None is all good, none is all
So
bad. So we must then try to be improving it from where we stand. So
strike the balance.
if you improve it where you are, and I'm improving it, you just find out that slowly but gradually we are improved people. That's a good idea. That's a good thing to follow. And that's the kind of thing I expect you all to be members. You don't have to be members of a political party. Just be doing better where you are.
But
Be
how,
improving it where you are.
but how do you think you can reconcile the two? Being a convener or national coordinator of a movement, you understand, a political movement per se, and being a party stakeholder, being in People's
Well, with due
Democratic Party.
respect, the fact that when you how do you reconcile being a politician and also being a medical doctor or being a politician or being a businessman? These things are not mutually exclusive. There are intersecting circles in the course of human life. Somebody is a musician does not mean she's not a wife. Somebody is a wife does not mean she's not a manager. Somebody is a man. Human life does not operate on a tunnel view. It's not a straight jacket. Intersections within the range of human life suggest that we must constantly be dialoguing, be improving another. And rather than stand on one spot and scream, especially when it's not even yet time for campaigns, are we going to wait and not do anything? That's why we gave Nigeria, and if you like mankind, the gift of the alternative. Let the best of us lead the rest of us. And let us search for him together.
Talking about cross-carpeting, you mentioned, there's this prevailing issues now. People, more especially from People's Democratic Party, some few from the ruling APC, moving to ADC. And we have seen recently southern governors joining the ruling party, more especially from the PDP, and some of them even decided to remain in their own party, like you mentioned, and support a candidate of a different political party.
Do you want an honest answer?
Of course, yes. That is why you are here.
No. You may want a on the surface answer, but if you want the honest answer, let me tell you. You see, we run this country on the principle of a pendulum. If it goes to the north, it stays there for 8 years. That's the intention. If it swings back, it stays there for 8 years. That pendulum is what has allowed us to balance and manage the diversity here. Now, people are beginning to suspect that anytime a southerner is in charge, your cousins, your brothers, your fathers, especially the over excessively ambitious one among them, begin to suggest that there's a need for a dangerous narrative that the country is not being well run. And people who have a bit of knowledge of the past notice that that's what they do consistently. And that the only time they pretend as if they cannot see, they cannot hear, they cannot think, they cannot bring opinion is when their own is in charge. And that it will not even matter how badly their own is performing, or even if he's ill, they will never make a request that power should leave him. They will even begin to tolerate, let us just tolerate it, let's tolerate it, let's tolerate it. And when you see that kind of thing becoming the pattern, and the people who were young before, who may have been powerless as young people, have now become matured and they have some gravitas of their own, it is very normal that you will expect them to do a pushback. And before you let us destroy this country, we better, cool it a bit. We cannot run a nation on the idea that one section is bullying another section. And I must be, before I swallow this saliva, I must also be very clear that I do not approve or accept the idea that we will not balance power. It doesn't matter which section is in charge. If the South is in charge, I expect us to run a balanced administration where every part can see themselves in the administration. And if you swing it back to the North whenever it does get soon, I expect, otherwise, why are we even fooling ourselves? Why don't we just break up the country? The people can go and do whatever I want. We will do whatever I want. And those who have been asking for Biafra can go and do whatever I want. And if you think that is very palatable, I tell you again, with every sense of seriousness, it's not palatable for anybody. The way to know is look at the places that border Igbo land and tell me whether the Igbos would prefer to be from those areas other than Nigeria. And before the Yoruba start overrunning themselves, they should look at the places that border Yoruba land like Benin Republic and tell me whether they would rather be from Benin Republic and Nigeria. And before you start getting carried away, look at the places that border you like Chad and Niger and Cameroon and tell me whether you would rather come from those places than Nigeria. So bottom line is, everybody within the Nigerian space seems to be better than their, with due respect, than their rivals in terms of the physiology, the confidence, the boisterosity, and the attitude to life. So it means that it is this rainbow coalition, this tapestry of many tribes, many colors that is making us great. And we must do everything to continue to protect it, including calling out the excessive, over-ambitious destabilizers of political party. Because you will ask, who are those that even destabilize the PDP?
Who are they?
The same people. Who are those that destabilize and form the APC? The same people. Who are those that are now trying to even destabilize both the PDP and the APC? The same people. Then the question is, if you were wrong then and you've been wrong all the decisions, what makes you think that you're right now? And then when you check, it's for what purpose? Your inordinate ambition. Almighty Allah has only promised you life, and He has also promised you death. Everything He gives you in between is a gift and also a trial. But nobody in Nigeria owes you the presidency of our country.
This power sharing formula, it's a gentleman agreement. It wasn't constitutional. And I think the brainstorming or outcries by one part of the country when especially the other is in power, it's not limited to one zone. You know, we witness a situation whereby if a northerner was on the seat, the other people...
They never asked for the power to be taken away from him. They may raise issues around development, but they are disciplined enough to let him finish his term. And to remind you and to shock you, Muhammadu Buhari was ill for the first 2 years of his government. Nobody dared even say, take the power back to the South. The conversation was, he should do more, which is okay. But they were not saying, oh, you got to take it away. We're not doing it again. Bring it to Yoruba. Nobody did that. You people did that. Your people, with due respect, I'm not generalizing. They did that with Jonathan. Nobody did that with Yaradua. Even when he was ill and going to the hospital every day.
There was protest.
People, when it became clear that he was incapable of exercising the functions of a president because he was ill, and even at that, they still reluctantly, almost to the point that it was almost before he died, before we created a doctrine of necessity on things should have been ordinary. Why so? And even if the Almighty Ambassador you all like to talk about, have you forgotten that it was during this time people started this Sharia joke in the far end of the north, which has eventually metamorphosed into the insurgency we see today, all in the bid to show that you want to. And you know the painful part? If I were in Northern, I would have led the revolution in the north against the northern leaders.
How do you see so?
I will tell you so. I've asked myself over and over and over. I've taken my team of alternative. I've taken them to the grave of Tafawa Balewa to pray and say, the stories we hear at Tafawa Balewa, is this the north you left behind? I've taken them to the grave of Ahmadu Bello in Sokoto to say, Sir Ahmadu Bello, the God that brought you, look at the north. Is this the north you left behind? I've gone to the leaders, even to the spiritual leaders down there. I went to his bedroom and I said, Sir, Baba, is this what you are going to leave behind? How can Muslims be killing Muslims? How can Northerners be killing Northerners? What happened? How did we get it wrong? Is it sin? Are you not going to carry out? I even went as far as saying, can't you tell Almighty Allah to take all the Astagfirullah you've been saying in this world to dash also that we can just have peace there? To love Nigeria is to love the North. But to also love the North is to be very, very angry with their northern leaders. Because till date, nobody has ever withheld any allocation to any northern state or local government. Show me the results. Show me the results. Why should anybody accept that you have a right to come in front of Northerners or even in front of Nigeria and be telling us, Namu, 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 Namu. When the people you are saying Namu, Namu over, you have not even been able to improve their lives. Are you happy the way it is? But you know, somebody like us, we can't say much because when we do, you say it's not from there. It's not from, are they more from there than people like us that grew up in Kaduna, lived in Kaduna, and know only people from the north? My best friend as a young child was a Kanuri man. He still remains my friend till tomorrow. Because we know that the population there is the asset, but not when you leave them with beggar books in their hand, allowing them to be unattended. You are not feeding them. You are not educating them. You are not setting up transformational agenda. I went to Kano one time. After looking at Kano, I said, I came back. I wrote a letter to Aliko Dangote. Am I from Kano? I said, that Aliko, the son of Maria, please now, come and create tourism in Kano. Just something to make us reform it. Some of us just want every part of Nigeria to be great. So when people start with this, there's one northern number. So I will ask you, have you even given them enough education to be able to know what to look for in a good leader? Are you that is even calling yourself, you want to be president now? Are you a good leader? Did you treat people well there? The people that you have not looked after, did you not lose the middle belt? When it is convenient, the middle belt is part of the north. But when they are dying, you don't remember that? Who will, if I were your brother and you were my brother, why should I kill you? Am I going to eat? Are you going to, the Quran says, are you going to eat the flesh of your own brother? But you will not tell yourselves that. It's only when it is time for national power, you will start to explain stories that don't make sense. But it's okay.
Still on the national power.
Yes.
You know, we have different political parties.
Good for them.
Yeah, and APC now are in government, and Bola Tinubu eventually from the southern part of the country is exercising his first tenure, and he might decide to go for a second tenure after this coming 2 years. And your close ally Atiku Abubakar has moved to ADC. Are you going to support him?
If anybody has annoyed me and made me extremely unhappy, no leader in modern Nigeria has made me sad and unhappy like Atiku.
Why?
I love that man with my bones. You know what I mean? When you love someone so much, I cannot imagine that at the twilight of his years, he's looking at the PDP. Billahi, this is a party that he was sitting down and having a meeting, I think, around Ibro Hotel, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the hotel that time. They were already planning their thing as politicians. And they were already even looking in the direction of either Awoniyi or Saraki, Abu the father, Olushola or Alex Ekweme. Before Aliu Gusau, general is still alive, was dispatched to go and tell him that they have to go and see Obasanjo. And then he got up and dismissed the house. They went to bring Obasanjo. He who had just left prison to tell him to come and be president, blah, blah, blah. I'm cutting the story. And that was how the PDP went to Jos and all. There are stories of Atiku that I can tell you that will make you cry about a sacrifice, because he has really sacrificed. And then he went to Jos, they did whatever they did, Obasanjo became president. That means that at the foundation of this party, at the foundation of that government, you cannot remove the name Waziri Atiku Abubakar. How he can now, with due respect to him, sit down with some people and be pretending that there is one coalition of confusion that he will now also now be a part of, when the house we have all been laboring for, that gave him vice president twice and gave him presidential candidate back-to-back twice, is hemorrhaging. I don't know what he will tell his creator when he dies.
You know,
I don't know what he will tell Shehu Musa Yar'Adua when he dies. How many slogans is he going to teach his grandchildren? Today he will teach them, be proud to the people. Tomorrow he will teach them, carry broom. Next tomorrow he will tell them, carry sugar cane. Next tomorrow he will teach them, carry cassava. Next tomorrow he will tell them, slap people. Next tomorrow, what kind of nonsense is this? Every human being has to draw a line when he will tell himself, it is now time for me. I don't mean he should die, with due respect. May Allah keep him around and keep me around too. Everyone will say, okay, let me now try everything humanly possible to put this house in order. And sometimes, when you think you are the solution, you may be the problem. A leader must act, a leader must think that way. Am I the problem? And if you think you are the problem, you have to have the magnanimity of mind and self-control and your long-term history of stepping aside.
Well, we'll take a short break.
I know you need to drink water.
When we come back, we'll continue from where we stop. Viewers, if you are just joining us, we've been on with a PDP chieftain and also the national coordinator, convener of the Alternative, a fan Nigerian movement, Segun Sowunmi. You're most welcome. When we come back, we'll continue.
It will be a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome as well.
We're talking about South and the North. You talk about middle belt. Currently in Nigeria, we don't have middle belt. North Central is what we have.
Okay.
And they are included in the North. If the perception is because Nigeria is standing on a tripod, you have Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, they are the owners of Nigeria. That is a very wrong perception. These are major tribes in Nigeria. Simple.
Yeah.
Nigeria is owned by every single citizen of this country.
If you go to civilized nations, they possibly have, stratified their political parties such that those who play at the national level are there. And at the local level, you have other minor political parties playing there. And it gives sense of belonging to every citizen to be able to contest.
And in fact, once you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven.
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
This is Third Eye Africa TV, exposing crime, savaging the nation.
Welcome back. This is Third Eye Africa Television and the first crime television in Africa, Nigeria exclusive. You are just joining us. We've been discussing with Segun Sowunmi, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party and a convener of the Alternative Fan Nigerian movement. And before we went for the break, we're discussing about the Atiku Abubakar and all this power.
You are the ones personalizing it as Atiku.
I didn't personalize it.
I don't want you to personalize.
I mentioned him as your ally.
He's my ally.
Of course, yes. That's why
I still love him. Oh.
And he's one of the major stakeholders in the PDP.
He's not a major stakeholder in the country.
Of course, yes. As former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay. PDP, there's this insinuation and proclamations that PDP may eventually bring back Jonathan, and there was this reportage that the party was even asking him to come and contest for...
You know, the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria is one party that understands what the intention of this democracy ought to be and what it is. And we can boastfully say so because between 1998, when parties were registered, we are the only ones that have remained the way we were, registered. Our name is the same, our umbrella is the same, we're part of the people. So it is not unusual for the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria to think above all others that what is going to be in the best interest of our country. The challenge on the table now is that people believe the power should remain in the South. If that then be, people believe the ruling party already has President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who may, or he has not told anybody, but more than likely, with the level of endorsement they are doing prematurely, who may be running. Would the other political parties now not find quality material that can bring a contest close? And in that context, when you look at it very well, you want to be sure that it's not somebody that has to be making promises that he will not keep, because the ones who made those kind of promises in the party didn't keep them. There's no point aligning ourselves to be in that kind of situation. So people who are thinking about that are saying, okay, by the way, why not Jonathan? In any case, he has only one term. In any case, he's not going to be learning on the job. He's been president before. So it's forming cabinet, balancing the thing is not a new thing to him. In any case, the North can be comfortable since they know him, and he even tried very hard to give them schools and great big ideas. In any case, he's not a power-wielding bully. So that's why they are talking about him. I feel that the responsibility and the burden of the presidency is a very big burden for anybody who has been there before. If you've not been the president, you may assume that it's a very easy work. But anybody who has been president, among them, the ones that have been president, they know that it's not as easy as it looks from outside. Yes. So Jonathan has to sit down and determine for himself if he's going to sacrifice everything one more time for us. And if he's going to do that, of course, the only platform where you expect him to even be, he can't talk about any other place apart from the PDP. Reason being that that's the platform that made him anyway. We gave him deputy governor, vice president, and even elder statesman. So I understand why the sentiment is there. And he has one time. People feel that would be easy. But I always tell people, Every election is a different election. You have to measure it afresh. You have to do the analysis afresh. You have to look for the pathway differently. You have to check the monies as well. You have to look at the science that will carry it. It's not, you can't fumble into the presidency. People think that it's just, oh, there are 1 million voters in Kano because of that. It's not so. These things are far more complex, and they yield to people who are interested in that kind of study and people who know precisely how to do those kinds of data-driven analysis. But yes, why not if not? Anybody who is not barred by the law and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can present himself.
If that happens, we might end up having 2 southern candidates.
Yeah, we had 2 northern candidates in 2019, Atiku and Buhari, and it didn't offend anybody because we knew that the power should remain in the north.
And it remained there.
And by Allah, it remained there, and the goodwill of the people. So if the power is to remain in the south now, it must remain in the south. You see, it's too dangerous not to let it be that way. With due respect, imagine for a second that we don't let power complete its tenure there. Then the question will be, what will be the reason? Would it be that there are more fertile men in the north than in the south? Or the women in the north are more fertile than their colleagues in the south? Of course not. It's evolution. Evolution makes you make better decisions. You don't want to create children, bring children into the world you can't look after. So that would then threaten the balance of the country, because by the culture, the Islamic, Muslim as well, by the culture and Islamic tradition that allows polygamy and even allow people to even be cheating the game by divorcing one man, one wife, and adding another. In the course of one life, one man has had children from 13 women. We did not necessarily populate that part more than those who have accepted the concept of one man, one wife.
Polygamy exists.
Yeah, I know, but even in their one man, one wife, generally, let's not kid about. They usually don't even like to have too many children because they want to make sure that there's no beggar bull in the hand of their child. They want them to go to school and all that. How long do you think we can go with that? Are we going to agree that the North is only raising children or breeding children for election purposes? Then, of course, if you do that, then we may be interested in the dismembering of the country. Don't forget, Nigeria was amalgamated along 2 axes, Northern Protectorate and Southern Protectorate.
1914.
If you cannot respect the concept of that pendulum, then we can go back to pre-1914 and break it up. And then we can then say, between 1914 to date, look at the demography of the South. Look at the demography of the North. Why should power come from the place where they've not better managed themselves? Or have they better managed themselves in the North than in the South? Of course, the answer is no. If you look at your cities, you have to look at your villages. And then that will tell you that leadership has been quite irresponsible. When I started by telling you, if I were a bona fide born Northerner, I would have been very, very angry with Northern leaders. There's nothing they will say that I will tolerate, because we did not get a country that was unevenly balanced. During the days of Tafawa Balewa and Ahmadu Bello, I used to tell people from reading the books that the North was even better administered than the South, because whereas the South was running free education with very little extra support, the North was running stabilized, qualitative education up to the level of scholarship, of even paying them a stipend, and even doing what eventually became the federal system of transforming people and moving them from their villages into towns and, shuffling them up. And the North had enough food, the North had a strong culture, the North had a very strong traditional institution that knew what his role was. How do you now look at that same North now? There is nothing there to impress you, apart from vainglorious boasting of one of a few of their leaders who cannot even look at themselves in the mirror and say, what have we done here? What have we done here? And since you all have governors, all the states have governors, Northerners must learn to criticize their governors more. We who criticize our governors in the South, we are not criticizing them because we hate them. We are criticizing them in the hope that maybe they will just do a little bit more. But what do people do with your leaders? Your leaders are allowed to just go and buy houses in Mecca, live in Dubai, marry beautiful wife, live like kings in the midst of the squalor. And yet it is their responsibility to fix human capital, let me land my thoughts, to fix human capital development, to fix the stabilization of the environment, and to ensure that there's peace and stability there. So long and short,
I think
we are running one Nigeria.
I think
And in that one Nigeria, we must work very hard.
This idea of stealing or siphoning from
everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, but you see, what are you saying? Where are you from?
I'm from the northern part of the
Which
country.
part? Which state there?
Northeast Gombe.
Okay, you have one of the most beautiful states in the country because of your roads and even the beauty of the savannah. But guess what? But no, the point I'm making is that's what I wanted to show you. Over the period that we have been in democracy, Gombe has been lucky. Your leaders have paid attention to infrastructure. Your cultural center, your civic center, what do you call that thing you have? It's sometimes your conference center is more beautiful than the one they have in Abuja now. Because somebody built it. The point I'm making is that the responsibility of leaders at subnational level must be taken very seriously. We can't have an agreement, we can't have a country where we'll be saying, oh, the president is not doing this, the president is not doing that, as if we don't have governors and we don't have chairmen of local government. Why should they not be interested in lifting up their own people or lifting up their own environment? As I would have preferred, I would have really preferred that we had a situation in the country, although it can't happen, I know, where we can bring a northern governor to manage a southern state and take a southern governor to manage. You will see the kind of transformation. You know why? Because he's my brother, he's my brother. It's the reason why you allow what should not be tolerated.
You've been one of the critics of some of the policies, not all of the present administration. And was it last month you were seen visiting?
I visited him,
president,
yes. He invited me.
Nigeria had been asking questions, and some were even expecting that you follow the bandwagon.
Okay, let me try and educate you a bit. Honestly, I have been very critical of the ruling party because I'm an opposition man. Something triggered my subpedaling. And that was because I began to see that it appeared as if I was beating my brother rather unjustly. And others were beating him too so hard with criticism that I had to step back a bit and say, okay, all right, Segun, let's go and review what he is doing. For if you are going to help them to say, thief in the market, I need to ask, what has he stolen? So in the business of, it's just that I didn't discuss it. I was just doing a mental shift. Okay, let's look at beyond just opposition for opposition. Let's begin to look at what is he trying to do, safe. After all, he may end up doing his first term. Allah is the owner of life. Okay, what is he even doing? It was in the process of trying to see what he was doing that I realized that we were generally not being fair. We did not accept the circumstances of our country and the character complex of our people, that really we are mostly thieves. We did not accept that anybody that is given an opportunity in our country really mostly uses it for himself. And if that is the kind of people that we are, okay, yes, how could they have kept subsidy? We don't have the money for it. How could they have been allowing us to be carrying dollar and be running up and down all the shops abroad to be spending? How could you have allowed that? Okay, he has taken those painful decisions. Yeah, okay. What next? But I then started seeing some of the things he was doing with due respect. I started saying, okay, this guy is trying to get them to go to school. If you are a politically exposed person, you will know the burden of people who cannot even pay their school fees when they have gotten admission. Pops us off the table. Then I saw that, okay, he's trying to give them specialized economic zone in each of their zone. I said, okay, maybe he's trying to help them to create that cluster that, okay, Southwest, go and do your thing there. Southeast, do your thing there. Because I felt it's not even done 2 years. Within 1 year, you guys, they are done. We no go agree. We have riot, protest more than 4 times. What's going on here? And before I join you to kill my brother,
The protest was,
Before I joined you, I'm not saying the protest was wrong. I'm just saying before I joined you to kill my
what
brother.
I was trying to say, the protest was conducted by Nigerians.
I agree. Yeah, very convenient. Before I joined you, Nigerians to kill my brother. I then had the duty to now say, okay, let me even look at what the issues are. And then I said, okay, there are some issues I still have with him anyway. And then one thing led to the other. Oh, are you not going to come? Because I'm president, are you not going to come and greet? Okay, I'm coming to greet you. But I'm not supposed to be afraid of greeting my brother. After all, people were greeting your brothers too when he was there. So I then went to greet him. And by Allah and the one who will judge us on the day of Yom Al Kiyama, I asked him very tough questions. Very tough. You can't ask for, the kind of questions I asked later, it's not, did you sleep well? Have you eaten? I was asking him tough questions within the limit of respectability. I wasn't rude to him and I wasn't provoking him. I was asking him those questions from a point of view of empathy and national desire for the country to be great. Do you know what my friends call me? My friends call me, when they want to mock me, they call me Lord Lugard. You know why? No. Because the only thing on my head morning and afternoon now is Nigeria. And so I don't have the time or the patience for us to be indulging leaders. Where he has to improve, he will have to improve. If he doesn't improve, he will meet his load where they used to keep it. The one that I admired because he did not misbehave much was Buhari. I'm still mourning him. It is only after the 40th day, which I plan by the grace of Almighty Allah to do a fiddah for him in my state at my expense, to pray for him. Then I will finish my own official mourning of Muhammadu Buhari and let Allah make the grace easy for him. Let Allah give him the nur of his grave. Let Allah allow his prayers to accompany him. Let Allah take him into Adonai. He's a Katsina man and I'm a Yoruba man. And
pray Amin and
Amin.
Pray Amin and still on this,
So am I joining this party? What I can say on that is this. You see, I could have joined the APC in 2015 after they won. I saw them, but I was bothered that are we going to all empty there? And I wanted them to manage it well so that every Tom, Dick, and Harry does not join that party. Because when you say you are a progressive, it requires progressive thinking. It requires, but hey, it's their party, they can do it anyhow. Now, I could have said, okay, why not if not? Let me join my brother. After all, he's president. But I've been asking myself, Segun, who am I leaving the work of opposition for? Who am I leaving it for? Is it these people that are not stable? Since 1998, I've been in PDP. I've never left. And I've not been anything there. Apart from what I'm using my personal effort to do for them, I cannot see what they have done for me. They've never given me a post. Neither have they given me a ticket. All the time I have contested, I've used myself and that contest to show up whom they prefer. And it did not annoy me, and I did not leave, and I don't do anti-party. So I am tired a bit, and I'm praying to God Almighty that by the time we get to November, they would have understood that you don't design a political party only for the next election. You have to design a political party for it to last forever. Knowing fully well that election contest is a serious matter, but being alive and stable and well run is also a serious matter. You have to figure out how to make sure that you can motivate the young people. PDP is not having problem because of the Matiku that are leaving. They can go to wherever they want. It's not the first time they are leaving. PDP is having problem because a lot of the young people no longer have the zeal to carry the banner and shout power to the people. That's where the fixing has to take place. Why should they? If they see that all their effort, some people are just making money, doing all the good things, looking after their wives, looking after their children, and never giving them a chance. That's where you fix it. People are not leaving the PDP in the grassroots. Forget about one Mr. Big Man making noise that is leaving. The next election will soon come, and we'll see them whether they can bring any result.
Including the governors that left?
Forget them. People at the grassroots. Governors have lost election before in this country. And governors will still lose election in the future.
On a very rare case.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Listen, society continually evolve for its own improvements. I don't know how it will look, but there's coming a time when you will even know that you can no longer rig election. when the people are ready to vote. Don't be deceived. Even the ones you want to deploy, the army, the soldier, and the police, they are also citizens of the country who are also feeling the impact of what's going on in the country. One of the strongest leaders in Africa of recent was Mubarak of Egypt. He was so strong. His deep state infrastructure was so strong. His relationship with the West was so strong. It almost seemed as if it was impenetrable. Where is it today? Where is Egypt today? So don't ever deceive yourself that living in a fortress guarantees you safety. No. Once you are in leadership, the burden you have is to serve the people, because it's only the same people that can rescue you. You must ensure that the principle by which you are governing is, what do we do to make sure that life is easier and easiest to the most vulnerable in the society? If you plan your policy thinking about that, you would have covered everybody else. And let me tell you very firmly, Nigeria is one country in the world where the leaders are excessively indulged. There's no consequence. One of the things we must try to do for the sake of all of us is to introduce consequence back there, so that there is consequence. There is serious consequence. Not until you get to the day of Yom Al Kiyama. Here. We must have the courage to throw you in prison, take everything you've taken, stolen, ostracize you, blacklist you. We can't be a nation of, he went to prison, he's coming back, we're clapping for him. We can't be that way. Because in the long run, it's not good for us, it's not good for our children. And you know what? The only commodity we are wasting is time. Now, there's an opportunity in the world, if you watch the world. America, Canada, China, everybody is doing a new renewal. They are rewriting the playbook of the world. Nigeria should not be sleeping on duty, not at this time. Certainly not at this time. And we are doing the bit we can. I'm doing what I can. And I expect that you will continue to encourage me.
While time is not on our side, I wish
it's a good enough interview I've given you.
But within this 1 hour, we've been discussing
Gombe man, the man from the jewel of the north.
Yeah, of course.
The jewel of the savannah, beautiful land, beautiful infrastructure.
Thank you so much, as you commended my governors and all that.
Oh yeah, they've done. I've been there.
I believe in the future, if you get opportunity, you're going to replicate.
Oh, I will do better. I will do far better.
That will not allow us to discuss the interwrangling in the PDP, but next time we're meeting.
That's all over now. The people that were quarreling have carried themselves into ADC
still
now.
There.
Listen, the major people that are quarreling have carried themselves into ADC. They can stay there. Nobody is asking them to come back.
Now,
the one that is in the place, you people like to mention, water will find its own level too with that one.
Well, thank you so much, viewers. We have been on with a PDP chieftain, like I said earlier, and
a pan-Nigerianist,
a convener of an alternative a movement for a pan-Nigeria. And we discussed a lot of things bothering cross-carpeting, internal political crisis, and all that. And this is Third Eye TV Africa, and join us every Saturday for political crimes. And I thank you so much, Chief Otumba Segun Sowunmi.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.